Hello and welcome to your Newsmax Now update. I'm John Bachman. Congressional leaders are back at the White House today trying to reach a deal. Aides and sources say we are closer to a deal to end the government shutdown and avoid debt default than it looks, but it doesn't look all that great right now. And over the weekend, talks between President Obama and House leaders fell apart. The GOP continues to press for concessions for reopening the government, and the White House was having none of it. Now, the Senate seems to be the best hope for getting a deal done. There are still some big hurdles, of course. As part of any budget compromise, Senate Democrats are looking to roll back some of those across-the-board spending cuts we've seen, known as sequestration.
The shutdown needs to end, and the debt ceiling impasse needs to be dealt with and get past it.
I'm optimistic about the prospects for a positive conclusion to the issues before this country.
But Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is not warming up to the Democrats' demands. Instead, he is endorsing a proposal already on the table from Senator Susan Collins of Maine. McConnell said in a statement that it has the support of both Democrats and Republicans. The Collins plan funds the government at its current levels for 6 months and raises the debt limit through the end of January. We'll see where that goes. But now more backlash, this time coming from angry veterans who tossed aside barricades to get into the World War II memorial on the National Mall. It was all part of a Tea Party rally led by Sarah Palin and Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who helped lead the fight against Obamacare, which of course contributed to the government shutdown. Protesters shouted, quote, "tear down the walls," and also sang patriotic songs throughout the so-called Million Vet March.
We have had enough. We're out here for a multitude of reasons, but you shutting down the Veterans Memorial was the straw that broke the camel's back.
A little bit after that, some protesters carried barricades to the White House and rallied outside the gates confronting police in riot gear. Protesters carried one sign demanding that President Obama be impeached. And on a more positive note, this weekend's Chicago Marathon provided one woman the chance to show the world her determination. Less than 6 months ago, Lee Ann Yanni was waiting for her friends near the finish line at the Boston Marathon when the first of 2 homemade bombs exploded just a few feet from where she was standing. She was badly wounded and did not know at the time if she would ever run again. But lots of hard work and rehab paid off, and she finished this race, the Chicago Marathon, over the weekend. Next year, she says she plans to return to Boston and run the marathon there as well. And India is recovering from a cyclone that hit this weekend. Officials say massive evacuations ahead of the storm helped save lives. However, at least 17 people have died. This cyclone hit eastern India, and authorities say it destroyed millions of dollars worth of crops. Well, coming up next on your Newsmax Now update, a bridge collapses in China. What happened right after this moment, and see what rescuers say helped keep everybody alive. Plus, a Newsmax exclusive with Congressman Randy Hultgren of Illinois next.
If you are successful at what you do, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a business owner, or you have a great career, you understand the concept of protecting yourself. Well, are you protecting yourself, your family, and your assets with quality term life insurance? Consider these possible rates. A man age 45 non-tobacco user could obtain $1 million of coverage for as little as $75 a month, and this rate is fixed for the next 10 years. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. A man age 50 non-tobacco user may be able to obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $115 a month. And this rate is fixed for the next 20 years. We have great rates for smokers too. Call the Term Lifeline now. 800-430-1309, 800-430-1309, 800-430-1309.
Attention hip implant patients. Are you in constant pain? Have you received a letter from your doctor about your implant? Have you had or need a revision surgery? Do you have high levels of metal, chromium, or cobalt in your blood? Over 90,000 hip implant devices have been recalled due to defects and failures resulting in revision or replacement surgery. If you have a recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-460-0920 to see if your implant is affected by the recalls. If you or a loved one has a defective or recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-460-0920. That's 800-460-0920. Protect your legal rights today. Call 800-460-0920.
This is an advertisement, not valid in all states. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. iLawsuit.com is an advertising group that represents lawyers advertising their services and is a free matching service for consumers. It is not a law firm or lawyer referral service.
Attention seniors and baby boomers. A new website has been created just for you. SocialSecurity311.com. At SocialSecurity311.com, we reveal a weird trick that could help you add $152,000 to your Social Security payouts. For example, did you know how you file for Social Security can dramatically change the amount of money you collect? One simple step could add up to $1,000 to your monthly payouts. And other loopholes we found reveal 33 ways for big savings on your health care. At SocialSecurity311.com, you will also discover how you could save up to 50% on your groceries, along with 49 other ways to save as much as $50,000 starting today. Newsmax says this website is a critical resource for anyone over the age of 50. So go to SocialSecurity311.com now to find out how you could add extra money to your Social Security checks. That's SocialSecurity311.com. SocialSecurity311.com.
And welcome back. Check this out. At least 10 people were injured in China when a pedestrian bridge gives out. The collapse was captured on surveillance video. It happened Sunday in the Jiangxi province in eastern China. This area is popular with tourists in the mountains, but fortunately, the water there is only about 6 or 7 feet deep, so rescue crews were able to get everybody out of the water without serious injuries. And during a Newsmax exclusive, we talked with Congressman Randy Hultgren. Even with the government shutdown, he says he's still worried about public schools. Hultgren says a federal effort called Common Core, which seeks to streamline standards and testing, is hurting students by limiting home rule of local school districts.
What we're seeing is tying dollars of race to the top dollars, also waivers from No Child Left Behind, the federal Department of Education, using that as leverage or a hammer against local districts or states to have to comply with this.
Stay with Newsmax TV and Newsmax.com. I'm John Bachman. Take care.